Well, good evening, everybody. Then we're back in the endurance series in Motorsport Manager for race number 4. Things going pretty well so far. So we were 6th and 8th last time, which was not quite as strong as our first couple of races, but we're still in that 3rd place we were after, and we completed our list of ex-F1 drivers last time. So we've got a nice long list in which we're scouting through to look for our F1. I don't want to say F1 rejects. They're F1 ex-F1 drivers to fill our 6 slots for the drivers. So let's get on. Apologies for not streaming yesterday. I wasn't quite feeling up to it, but we shall get going again today, so nothing is lost. Something might be gained. We don't know, really. So, there was one mistake last time from the pit crew. From SBN. Looking at him, there's no real reason he should have made a mistake. So I think that was just pure luck, really. His stamina's nice and high, so I don't think that was the issue. But we'll wait and see how our pit crew recover before we choose the crew for the next race. We've got almost a month until the next race in Munich, so plenty of chance to get stuff done. It says we got 3 updates. Oh, there's 3 new personnel to hire. So we got Wallen there, very highly skilled, but quite a high chance of a mistake. I think we might bring him on board. Her on board, beg your pardon. Even with that mistake chance, just because she's great across the board, so she's going to be able to fill those gaps. So we'll bring her on board, and then we'll probably get rid of someone. So you got Chu here, is really not very good across the board at all. So we shall fire Chu. Sorry. You are surplus to requirements. Doesn't need a replacement because we've had too many crew anyway, to be honest. So that should be okay for the crew. The car, we're going to have to wait. We can design a new part, so we'll probably do that. We've got a lot of money in the bank, to be fair, and we're making a good dollar each race. And once we get this motley crew of ex-F1 drivers, they're going to have a pretty expensive wage bill, so we might as well get some big parts built while we can. So let's go for a new engine. Now, fuel efficiency increase would be good. I don't really feel that we've struggled with fuel. It's been tyres that have been the limiting factor on each stint, but to be fair, it means we can put in a bit less fuel, and plus reliability is not really a gain. So we'll go for that. We'll get that built, and it means we can build some better engines down the line. They're really expensive though, 4.5 million for a new engine. I wonder if that's to reflect the fact that they probably don't really develop the engines much during the season in the Endurance Championships. That might have been a mistake, making that. We've done it now, so we will continue. So we'll keep improving parts. Once again, it's gone all the way to performance for some reason. So we've got those new brakes which we're improving. We're going to have a new engine pretty soon, so I don't see any need to continue with performance on those. So we'll go and maximise the performance on our 2 new brakes, and we're improving that suspension at the moment, so I'm okay with that. And just waiting for some scouting reports back then for these F1 drivers. Kubica is my favourite to bring on board first, I think, which might be the one we've got. Mark Webber. Be one of the best drivers. On top of that, his potential is good. You can see him improving in the years to come. Not sure about that, Pavel, but he would be a great driver. I don't know how much he's going to want. He hates leading. I don't know that that's true of Webber. So when he's leading, that's not really going to be an issue at the moment. He's a good chaser. Okay. Racing stock cars. He's not racing stock cars at the moment, is he? well, I'm aware of. He's pretty low on the marketability, which isn't great. Which is, again, wrong, because Mark Webber is an incredibly marketable driver. We'll keep him on the board for the moment. I'm interested to see... I do want Webber on board, to be fair. I think we should probably make him an offer just to see how much he's going to want. So, wages are fairly important to him. We'll start at 288. It's probably going to be way too low. But we'll see. His status isn't important, so we'll say equal car. Prefer a long contract? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long this playthrough is going to go on. So, I don't mind offering him a long contract. And I'm sure Mark Webber can go on for many years in this championship. Oh, a little minimise that. Now we can continue. Right, so we've got Button and Palmer. The next two scouting reports. So they might be two people that we can bring on board along with Webber. Let's see what Webber says. Afternoon, Greg. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you've been having a good week. Thank you for joining the stream, as always. Palmer would be a low-quality driver. That's interesting, isn't it? He's really not been shown in a favourable light. Shy and retiring. He's really not very marketable. He's just been caught speeding. Probably having a night out after being fired as an F1 driver. Right, I don't think Palmer is an option. He's just not. He's not marketable. Yeah, you see, Jensen. I love the idea of Jensen and Button. Jensen and Button. Jensen and Webber in a car together. Problem with Jensen is he's still a reserve driver for McLaren. So we would have to free him from that contract. 1.5 million isn't too bad considering. Glad you doing well. Not even marketable. No, no one wants Palmer in their car right now. Give it a few years and he might be able to get back into racing, but nobody wants to sponsor a car with. You see, I feel these marketabilities are a bit harsh. Webber and Button would be hugely marketable in the WC, but hey. Right, let's approach Button. We would have to break that contract. He doesn't mind who pays. Oh, he can pay it then. Jensen's got loads of money. Make him a pay driver and everyone will want him. Maybe. If he brings some money with him, by all means. His status isn't too important. We're going to try and give people equal cars anyway. We'll go 269. Couple of year contract. He wants the signing on fee. So we'll start 120. I really want these drivers, and I'm not really sure how far we're going to take this series. So I am kind of interested. I just want to get him on board no matter what. He hasn't got much patience. 288. He's happy with everything else. So how much do you think we should be offering him in the chat? Because he hasn't got much patience left. I don't want to overpay him. I don't actually know how much we're paying drivers currently. We should probably check that out. 144, 255, 222, 255, 177, 244. Okay, so they're all under 200,000. So we knew this team was going to be expensive. And we're going to have to pay some money to get these guys out of a contract, unfortunately. But I just want to do this. I just want to get these guys on board. This is what it's all about, the XF1 team. Should have thrown in a bonus to Button. Add bonus. It will make happy and possibly allow lower wage. Well, even if they're not, it's not important to them. I've always been told that it's best to just leave that blank if it's not important, because they won't want one. So we should give them a bonus and then put the wages up a little bit. So what, maybe 2 steps on that. And signing on. Okay, we'll try that. See what he says. Right, let's just double check up on the car. Suspension is probably as high as it needs to be for the moment. We'll go to the nose. And those brakes are nearly ready. They should be ready for the next race anyway. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, make the bonus to get first and some trivial amount. So they'll never actually achieve it. And if they do, we'll be getting lots of money for winning. Right, so he wants a nice signing on fee. This is our last chance. Jensen's kind of the breaker for me. I really want him. So he's my hero. We've got to have him in our car. I'm willing to pay for him. I'm going to go 385. Go 250,000 and we'll go what you said. Trivial amount. So if he wins the race, he can have the maximum bonus. And not qualifying because there is a chance with rain we might get accidentally win a race. Okay, we'll see what he says. They're both considering. Okay. Webber's on board. Nice. So this is going to cost us a fortune, but I just want to do this. I really do. So, do we get rid of a low-rated driver, or do we get rid of a high-cost driver? I think we're going to be going with car number 1 for these guys. So, Graves and Vern are pretty low. It's going to cost $1 million to kick him out of his contracts. They've all got to go, unfortunately. Eden Foxworth, how you doing, my friend? Welcome along to the stream. Our team's coming together. It's going to cost us a fortune. What can you do? I guess we can always switch people over from the cars. So the guy that will cost us the least to get rid of will be Hishke. But he's also a pretty good driver. I think we'll get rid of him. Let's go back to that offer. And then it will just give us the option to replace. Yeah, I'm doing good, my friend. Doing good. Didn't feel too great yesterday, which is why I missed the stream. But feeling good today. Looking forward to getting our dream team together. Right. Hishke, we're just going to have to... so we sign Webber and get rid of Hishke. It's going to cost us a fortune, but what can you do? Okay, it's not going to cost us too much more per race, so we'll get the money back eventually. Webber's on board. First star driver. First F1 driver for the dream team. Marky Mark. Not a few months since he left Le Mans, he's back in a worse car. But what? Hey, whatever. Yeah, we are essentially, just to fulfill a fantasy of having an all-ex F1 drivers, we are going to run it into the ground financially. But hey, no, Jensen. Oh, JB. Why you want so much money? Okay, Jensen's off the cards for the moment. We can always go for him next season. It'll probably be easier once he's finished his reserve role, but that's another 1.5 years yet. He was insulted by it. They didn't adjust the financial model for teams to have 3 drivers. Or 6, rather. No, it's true. I think at the same time... you go for a lot lower cost drivers, considering in the top tier of the single seater, you can pay drivers up to $1 million per race, and all of these combined was less than one driver. So you just go for cheaper, worse drivers, really. What we're doing by getting all sort of star level XF1 drivers is we're going to run this team into the ground because they're far too expensive. So I think that's what you have to do. You have to balance lower drivers. Are there reserves? I don't think so. No. Don't you can have reserve drivers in the endurance. Right. So I mean the next ones are going to be Kubica, Gutierrez and Alguersuari. Kubica I'm definitely want to get on board. And then we'll probably have to get some cheaper drivers. I think Kubica and Webber will have to be our 2 star drivers. We either heavily load one car or we have a star driver in each car. And then we fill them out with some fluff. Gutierrez might be a good option. Just left F1, still young. Alguersuari's not too bad. Heifeld's probably past it. The rest is a good option, maybe. Anthony Davidson, Nakajima and Buemi are all contracted to Toyota, so that's probably not going to happen. And we'll see what the scouting reports say from the rest of them. I don't know how they're set up in this mod as to how good they are. But I think that's going to be all. Webber can't get fired up. Oh yeah. He needs to increase his fitness to be able to do it. It's the same as Ollinger, to be fair. So I presume standard bar is using endurance. Have to be fired up. This driver also has a danger zone. It doesn't say why. What influences stamina? I would guess fitness, and his fitness is pretty low. So I guess if you have good facilities, they can increase their fitness, and maybe their stamina will go up. That's how I presume it will work. He must be an old fart. He is getting on a bit. Not for endurance racing, though, to be fair. 39 is not too bad for endurance. They just sit in and relax. Pee where they sit. Right, I think we're all ready to go to race number 4 for today. Task communications again. I think, like last time, we want to go a bit more biased towards the mediums and the hards. So I think we'll go an extra set of mediums, 465. We should be able to use our new brakes this time. And of course, we will give them straight to Marky Mark. He's never been called Marky Mark. What's that from? That's from the Mark Wahlberg meme of his fitness video, isn't it? It's got nothing to do with Mark Webber. Yeah, so we've got 2 new brakes on the car. Everything else looks fine. So let's get going with a practice. Fitness is what determines how well driver do throughout the race, which stamina seems like just them showing you the actual stats. A little confused with that, Fox. So fitness is what determines how well drivers do throughout the race, which stamina seems like just them showing you the actual stats. So you think stamina is related to fitness, or fitness is stamina? It would make sense. His fitness was low, his stamina was a bit lower than our other drivers, and you would expect fitness to be the one that influences it. So maybe we can get his optimal section back by improving our facilities. So of course we're going to bias the car towards Webber, just because I'm a total scrub like that. And I just want Webber to do as well as possible. We'll go out on the mediums. And for this car, I think Trommer is who we will bias the car towards. Still no, there's a little bit of overlap now. because Webber is very adaptable. So we can now get a little bit of preference towards each driver. I want to use Mark to his maximum. So we're going to go 0.5 seconds for him. And we're going to bias the car towards Trommer again. That's done as well in the past. Right, let's get these setups on and get people out on track. So we've probably spent a bit longer than normal on the beginning section. And let's get them straight out on track then. Race trim, 4 laps, mediums, and Trommer, race trim, mediums. We're back out on track then. Let's hope he has a good weekend. A more fit driver will last longer than unfit, etc. Yeah, I'm sure that is the case. Check your other drivers and their fitness should confirm the hypothesis. Very astute, Fox. I will take a look at some point. Evening, Calcifer. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, feeling good off Sunday. It was a good win. Obviously, it was complete luck and circumstance. Like, it was great to finally win an RRL race. And congrats on your title, buddy. Look forward to seeing you on track in Suzuka on Sunday. Let's bring them both in. Speed this up a little bit as well. In the other championship, fit driver will be as strong in the beginning as in the end, but non-fit driver will start falling off towards the end. Yeah. So stamina, as you say, is probably just a reflection of that bar in terms of that the feature for endurance. I get you. Okay, and I'm sure there are facilities that we can improve stat increases. And with the way the fire mod works, all drivers can actually improve no matter how old they are. So we should be able to improve his fitness if we build the right buildings. Right, fairly good start to set up. Excellent in downforce, that's what I like to see. Change handling a little bit. That bang on. And as well send out another driver, just get him some track time, give us an idea of their form for the weekend as well. So we know who we want to bias against. Yes, it's called the fitness centre. Is that sarcasm, Fox? If there is a building called the fitness centre, then it probably is that, yeah? I didn't know that, but we'll see how expensive it is next time. It's a big building to build just for Mark Webber, essentially. But to be honest, considering we're getting Kubica on board, he's going to need some fitness training as well. So downforce, not going to need to change much. Don't want to move that handling too much. And we'll put Gonzalez in the car. Send them back out. Everybody needs a bit of luck. Yeah, of course they do, Cal. Evening, Ulf. How you doing, my friend? Welcome along to the stream. Hope you're having a good week. Yeah, we all need a bit of luck in league racing. But, do you know, Calcifer, if Weiser Sirius is racing in the final 2 races? Because obviously if he is, there's still a fight for second place, which I'd quite enjoy. It's a shame if he's had enough for the season. Sarcasm is the second language here in the west of Sweden. We're pretty fond of it as well. I think it's just Americans that struggle with it a little bit. Just a little bit, Fox. I'm not being insulting there. Yeah, I'm good, Ulf. I'm good, thank you. Just a tough week at work. That's why I didn't feel like streaming yesterday. But a bit better today. So let's crack on. Good setup for Graves, 93. We could get close to the fabled 100% here. I still don't believe it exists, but I can't deny it if it happens on the stream. Right, speed balance. We're going to put Vern in the car to give everybody a stint. Speed balance, we just need to change a little bit. Keep those the same. Stay out on the medium tyres. Yeah, we're still not even at level 1. Out can go Vern. Gonzalez, big improvement as well. My favourite at the moment is Ace Mods NASCAR. Yeah, the Chris who makes the mods sent me a message the other day saying that had come out. I was going to take a look at it at some point. I might try and do that over the weekend if I can find some time. Does look interesting. I think there's even 24 cars in one of the mods, which is quite interesting. Well, I think there's 24 in this, isn't there? There was a lot of interesting features. I can't remember them off the top of my head now. But I do want to check it out. How are you finding it? And what are the kind of big changes from, say, the fire mod? Race trim, touchways, mediums. Achugosa. Get on your way. I think we'll leave these guys out for a couple of laps just to get some knowledge on the track. Now the setups are pretty dialed in. It's sad to think I'm more excited for F2 next year than F1, although if the next season is super competitive, it will be amazing. Yeah, Formula 2 is always a better racing series to watch. Formula 1 is the pinnacle, and it's just the pomp and circumstance of Formula 1 that makes it great to watch. Formula 2 has always been better wheel-to-wheel racing, so I don't blame you for being excited there. I'm hoping we have a much better season than F1 next year, but you'll get me and Rage's full thoughts on that in a end-of-season podcast at some point next month. Got a lot to say for next year. Coastal harbour areas is sarcasm areas. Okay, I'll remember that if I ever go to those parts of Sweden, to be as sarcastic as I can. I'm sure you are, folks. As I said, no offence intended. I think I'm just going off Sheldon, really, from Big Bang Theory. I don't think so. I had a chat with him after Spa, and he said he doesn't have motivation to race because he's had so much unluck. Yeah, he's had some terrible bugs, hasn't he? I don't blame him. It's a shame that I just kind of take runner-up by default, but I'll take it. We can have some good races, I'm sure, between now and the end of the season. I got my team, Dr. Pepper Racing. Oh yeah, gotta love those American sponsors. One bug though. So there's no point for him to race in this opinion. I get that. Hopefully he'll be back next season. One bug though. Save before training quality. It can bug out, but it's a game thing. I love the things Ace included. Makes it more realistic. Okay. I definitely want to try it, and I'll remember to say that's a good tip. I'm sure Chris is very good with the mod, so I'm sure he'll fix the bugs as soon as he can. Sheldon equals average American. Bazinga. Got you. Is he not a representation of every American? I thought he was the everyman of America. Sheldon. No? Okay. He won't race next season as well. Oh, that's a shame. Got to find you some competition, Cal, somewhere. The black screen update ruined his model a bit. Oh, okay. He's probably just going for some teaming things, fixing that then. R7 will join us next season. Oh yeah, he told me he was coming back. I'm excited to race against him. He's been trying to get me to race in that league, in the league for like the last 3 years, and the first season I do is he's not in it, so I'll definitely be back next season, and it'll be good to race against him as well. I'm glad he'll be back. IQ Sheldon. And he is as fast as me. Well, he's had a little bit of time out. I used to race R7 on in lobbies, and we were pretty closely matched. So either I've lost speed or he's gained some since then. Because I'm definitely not on your pace, Cal. But I'm going to do a lot of practicing over the break. And hopefully... Right, let's just get these guys back out. Let's put Weber back in the car. Setup's on 98. That's fine. We'll just leave it at that. Still need a bit of race trim. And medium tyres, so we'll send him back out on those. Zollinger doing okay, up to 97 on that car. I'm happy with that, that's fine. Weber should be able to get both race trim and medium tyres if we leave them out long enough, so we'll go to some quali practice for the second car and put them on the soft tyres. and send them back out again. Black screen equals black screen. I did figure that one out, I think. Anyone that does PC gaming is synonymous with a black screen at some point. Or a blue screen of death. I haven't had that for a few years. Suzuka's one of my favourite tracks. First section is just amazing. I love it. The S's this year are so great. Comos has done a great job of improving the feedback through those first S's and actually making you feel the camber. I love them as well this year. The Senna S's are just the best. One thing he done in the IndyCar series, he included McLaren Honda with a selfish Alonso. Oh, that's got to be done. Dyslexia, yeah. Yeah. Everybody's got problems. You gotta deal with it how you can. I love that as a McLaren Honda team. It looked like there was some like made up teams in that as well. I didn't quite get it. There's like 3 different sets of Indy cars. Is that how I read it? But as long as the McLaren Honda always goes bang before Alonso wins a race, then I'm happy. Best mod of 2017. Some made up ones. Okay, that's cool. Cow, your favourite sector? Yeah, it is just an awful lot of fun, and there's a lot of pleasure in getting the Senna S's right. And some NASCAR all drivers up to 55 years old. Awesome. I won't know any of them, but I can feign ignorance, I guess. Right, Graves needs some time in the car. Hopefully his form will improve. So we've maxed out all of that, so we'll go back to some quali trim on this car as well. Try and max out the soft tyres. I do kind of want hard tyres, but I feel we're only going to use 1 tyre bonus in both qualifying and the race, so I feel softs are best for qualifying, obviously, and medium for the race. Time's looking okay. P5 and P7, obviously very difficult to tell, and not surprisingly, the Porsches and the Toyotas ahead of us. I haven't watched WRC for a while. I used to watch it a lot. Probably 8-9 years ago. Sort of the years Loeb was winning his first few championships. I haven't watched it for a while. I'll always watch clips because WRCs, they're just maniacs. It's fantastic to watch them on the edge, or sometimes over it. But I don't watch the actual series religiously. There's the ghost of Dale Earnhardt in there. I will again feign ignorance on that one. I remember us talking about this last time, but I can't remember what we said about Dale Earnhardt. I know Dale Earnhardt Jr. I presume. I can't remember what we said about him last time. There's a batch of older drivers. Interesting. A youngster called Earnhardt as well. Not sure. Earnhardt Jr. He's no youngster. He's a fully grown real boy. Okay. I don't think we're unfortunately going to get to level 2 soft and qualifying, but a fairly good practice session. Good practice setups. And as always, it's about our strategy in the race in this endurance more than anything else. We've got to remember this time to push the tyres a bit further. I think that's the mistake we were making last time. So, believe in the tyres. And once again, we'll aim to try and do 1 less stop than everybody else. That seems to be what gets us the good results in the endurance series. Oh, it's his death that... Oh, what, the hands devices. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't... Obviously, I don't follow NASCAR or watch it, so I didn't know. How long ago was that, then? He passed away. It's... We always think motor racing is as safe as it can be, and then we see these instances like we saw with Bianchi a few years ago, and of course Dan Wheeldon in IndyCar, and that's why we're now getting the Halo, which ironically wouldn't have saved either of them, the Halo, but it's always a dangerous sport, unfortunately, and we just have to admit it. Everyone knows that drives it. 2000 or 2001? Oh, okay. I definitely wasn't aware of NASCAR. Well, I was aware of NASCAR, but I didn't. Actually, I don't know. When I was about 10 years old, would I have been aware of NASCAR? Probably not. Okie doke. Quali, we're obviously going to take Webber. And we'll probably take Vernon as well. Well, both of them aren't really feeling it this weekend. Probably a bit intimidated by having Webber as a teammate. We'll go for Trummer and Zollinger. Let's go for the guys with a higher form, and hopefully they can do a better job. We'll go with soft tyres and qualifying on both cars. I presume it's going to be a dry week. Session even. It is. Setup's looking good, so off we go. We'll send Webber out first. I want a brand new set of soft tyres. Of course. Why does it keep minimising? Apologies for that. Trummer also on the softs. Out he goes. Try to finish some challenges today. Oso City rewards. What? The novelty hats? You're not a fan of the novelty hats? It's just what we want in this game, isn't it? Novelty hats. Chicken hat. World War II helmet. Just what you want in a motor racing strategy game, no? I would have preferred some like bonus skins or something, like the car skins. Or maybe manager traits or something. Chicken hat and a helmet. Yes, Fox, I know you love the hats. Bet you were overjoyed when you put a chicken hat on your guy, weren't you? In fact, I've got nothing against the hats. I just think there are more racing rewards that could have been put in. There are manager traits, are there? Okay. I've only done the first couple of challenges for the video I did on it. It doesn't really pull me in when you've got such great mods like this. And the endurance series now. I just forgot all about it. I will go back and play some of them at some point, I'm sure. Maybe you guys, maybe we can do a stream at some point in the future, and you guys can talk me through, try and get me through all the challenges, those that have done it before. Right, first qualifying laps coming in a minute then. Webber will be first man over the line, and I would expect him to be quicker than anybody else in our team, otherwise it's a complete waste of money. Be interesting to see, actually, to be fair. So Webber crosses with a 27.0. Trauma does a 27.2. So that's what an extra couple 100,000 a race gets you. 0.2 of a second. And as expected, then the Porsches and the Toyotas going straight to the top. One of the Rebellions ahead of us, unfortunately. Or I think one of the Signatech cars is Senna. There goes another Porsche. So we're looking okay at the moment. Looking fairly competitive. Manager traits and create team investors. Ultimate reward should be a new track. Maybe when there's 24 hour repo. Interesting thing about 24 hours. I'm talking with Chris, the developer of this at the moment. We're going to try and he's going to try and get me a save file, like a database file, to be able to do a single 24-hour race. We don't know how balanced it's going to be, but going to do that on a stream. It's going to take about 6 hours real time on like ×4, so that should be interesting. But I'm well up for doing it at some point. Alright, I want to send them out. See, this is where I think I made the mistake in qualifying in endurance. The track grip is at best at the end, and I don't want to do 2 runs on each car because we really can't afford to use all the tyres. So we want to go out right towards the end of the session. So we sent the first two out too early, really. Good lord, I'll watch the highlights of it 6 hours. As much as I want to see it all. I don't blame you. It's something we might do if he gets the file together on a weekend or something. I think it'd be good fun to do once. I couldn't do a whole season of 24 rounds. I think even doing one race a season like that would be a bit of a nightmare. But why aren't we? Oh, because we haven't put in a second lap, of course. I was wondering why we were stone last. I mean, I don't even know how you'd set it up, but they used to do those Twitch play things. Twitch plays, where obviously all the Twitch chat and everything like interacts with it. Imagine a 24-hour race put on real time, where the chat controlled the AI. Actually, that'd be a nightmare, to be fair. But I think a full 24-hour would be too much. I'd have to do it ×4, I think. Motorsport Legend trait, +50 team marketability, and staff and drivers always negotiate. Oh, and I've got to do them now, haven't I? They're actually good rewards at the end, are they? Of the challenges. I'll have to go back and complete them. Yeah, it does sound like the effort. It does sound like a good reward for the effort, doesn't it? I didn't realise there were that good of rewards at the end. Alright, we'll send Vern out on a new set of tyres. And whoever we've got in the other car. What is this guy? These guys might as well be called Guy 1 and Guy 2 at the moment, because they're not ex-F1 drivers, so they're not going to be around long. Probably using way too many soft tyres here. We didn't bring too many for a reason. All 6-hour endurance races at speed 4. Yeah, I think it's the best speed, to be fair. If you're just trying to blast through a season, ×12, sure, but you can't really make any tactical decisions. You'd have to keep starting and stopping it. I think 4 is a good speed that you can still keep an eye on all the strategy and everything as it's going on. Let's see how these two guys do first. So Vern will be first over the line, looking pretty good this weekend, high on the form factor, and across the line. Puts us 6th overall, and he's still slower than Webber, despite being on a grippier track. So we'll see how Zollinger does. Does a 27.4, so it goes a 10th behind, and we're 6th and 7th then. Only car ahead of us that we're really competing with is the Rebellion. So it's not the Signatech cars, which are the ones we're fighting in the championship. They are 9th and 10th. So we seem to have a pace advantage over them. I just think we need to work on our race strategy, because we should be able to beat them pretty comprehensively based on those times. Unlocked 1 investor so far, Giandamole. It is a medium investor, and you have to have 21 and under drivers. Basically become a junior team. Okay, and what kind of money does that put in then? The trait is in the all-star section. Haven't completed it yet. 12 times to finalise quali. Okay, 6th and 7th is pretty good. As always, 5th and 6th is the minimum we're racing for. Those Rebellion cars have been quick all year, but they haven't got the points so far. It's been Signatech that's been getting all the points, so hopefully we can have a good race. Oh yeah, that's what I want, folks. Release a guide. Then I can do it the easy way, hopefully. Because I want those rewards, but I don't want to have to keep retrying them, because we all know how bad at this game I am. Right, medium and race trim for both cars. We will start with... Now, I don't think we want to start with Weber. Hopefully, he's going to be able to do just one long stint, because his stamina's not great. To be fair, though, his stamina's not great. So, he needs to recover, and the best chance he's got of recovering is probably by going first. I think maybe we should start with Weber then. And we'll put the mediums on. So they should do 47 laps. We know that from our past they're probably not going to do 47 laps. So we'll put 38 in, I think, and then we'll save some and we'll just get an idea of how far the tyres can go. And then we can gauge the rest of our stints on that. I think like last time we will try the other car on the hard compound. And then we just get a good comparison on both cars as to what is the best strategy. So if we go max fuel on the other car, and hopefully we can take those hard tyres a lot further. Capiche? Capiche. Okay, and we will be aggressive for the first lap just to try and get those places. And then we'll settle down into the race. Right, here we go then. Race number 4 of the season. Only 9 races in this season, so we're almost halfway. And we're currently in that third position. So hopefully we can get the points we need. And we can pick off a Toyota or a Porsche here or there. If they have a bad race, then all the better. So, get ready for the old rolling start. I don't know if the safety car is a different model than this mod, which is the same model as the base game. It's too blurry there really to find. It does look like a Merc actually. I think that is a new model. Right, we'll go 1 speed for the race start. So let's see what Weber can do. This is what I'd expect him to be best at, wheel-to-wheel racing. He was known for it throughout his career. So his debut race for the team, let's hope he can get us off to a good start. And immediately getting past the Rebellion car, or trying to, as the AI back up as they normally do. And it's actually Trommer that's got all the way up to 5th then. And we'll immediately, of course, kick it up to 2 speed for the first lap or 2 until we get a handle on the tyres' temperatures. So I think I'll put the fuel back down to medium now. I think we'll use the boost for the first time it's at max, and then we'll start saving fuel after that. Right, tyre temps are now up, so we'll stay on neutral and we'll see how they neutralise. 25 degrees, so I'd expect to maybe have to conserve them a little bit, but we will find out. So Weber's stuck up in traffic here. Let's wait till he gets on to the next straight. We'll see if we can get him past these guys. He's actually bogged down by his teammate there, so if we get Trummer on his way with some boost as well, we can hopefully get clear of this little bunch. So still just the Rebellion car ahead of us. And all the Porsches and Toyotas have got off the line well then. Right, we'll go up to 4 speed, fairly happy now. The mediums are getting a bit hot, so we'll conserve them on Weber's car. And just settle in, see how they do in this first stint. So we've got 2 Signatech cars right up behind us. Of course, our main rivals in the championship, and then we're sandwiching that Rebellion car as well. Us 5 getting away in a little group here. I wouldn't really call it much of a gap back, to be fair. Weber's just lost out to the Signatech cars, and he's really struggling out there. You know what? These XF1 drivers, not all they're cracked up to be. have to rethink it. The strategy. Well, we're just going to have to forget about weather for the moment and go back on board with Trummer. Right. Medium's a little too cold on conserve, so we'll put them back on neutral. I hope they come back up to temp. So we're about 10 minutes in and we've lost about 10%. So looking good for over an hour stint this time. Maybe the tyre wear not too bad here in comparison. Talking in chat about the challenges. I played the first couple of challenges for the video I did and I haven't played it since, so I don't really know what's changed or whether the sprinklers are set time. I thought the sprinklers were at the same time each time, I thought, as well, from what I remember. So Trummer coming under pressure here. He's on the hard tyres, so he should be a little bit slower. It's Webber's pace I'm a bit worried about. I'm not entirely sure why he's struggling so much. Two Toyotas quite a way clear at the front. They seem to be doing their strange strategy again of soft tyres. Whether they'll go soft the whole race, we'll wait and see. But that's what Kobayashi's car did last time. And they ended up doing like 7 stops, and we almost beat them home as a result. Two Porsches doing a more conventional strategy, a little bit further back, and we're still in, we're still in touching distance of the Signatech and the Rebellion car ahead. So it's not all over. Of course, it's a 3-hour race, but we need to do one less stop than these guys, and it doesn't matter what our pace. If we get a stop on them, we should beat them home comfortably. So tyre temps going are stabilising on Webber's car. Neutral seems perfect for the hard tyres in these conditions. They don't seem to be wearing that much slower, so it's going to be interesting to see how far these cars go on these tyres. They certainly seem to be wearing better than last time. Yeah, I can imagine the challenges don't play ball too well with the mods. Probably an idea to turn them off. Was it actually playable with the IndyCar Ultra? I guess it's only changing teams and skins and stuff, so I presume it would be. So Webber is trying to get past Heinmeier Hansen. I think we'll probably use a little bit of boost to get him past if we can. There we go, he's through. So we'll go back to harvesting. Has he lost that position? Oh, he's on the back of his teammate now, Trummer. Use a little bit of boost from Trummer. Just get him away from Webber again. And we'll see. If Webber catches him back up, we might have to swap him around. I don't think we need to start saving fuel just yet until we know how much we're going to need to save. It's looking like if we can do over an hour on these tyres, then this might be the simplest race so far. Because we just put one driver in for an hour each. Bob's your uncle. And Sally's your long distant cousin for some reason. I would love for the mod maker to make the challenges reflect what they actually were in history. That'd be quite cool. Like certain challenges from flashpoints in Formula 1 or NASCAR or endurance. That'd be quite cool. I think that'd be a I don't know how much you can mod all of the challenges though. I think that's why the modding's been confined to mostly skins and rule sets, because I don't know complex you can do them. So I'm a little bit worried by how much we've dropped back from the two Signatech cars. They're almost 10 seconds ahead of us now. They are wearing their tyres a lot quicker though, so remember, we're just keeping on this philosophy of trying to do one less stop than everybody. And if we can achieve that, it doesn't matter how much slower we are, to be fair. Niki Lauda crash, 1998 Spa. Yeah, I'd prefer it probably certain conditions, like Hamilton Rosberg from 16, where you've got to win the race as Hamilton and Rosberg has to finish lower in a certain position. Prost versus Senna. There, two showdowns at Suzuka, you know, who will win the championship. I think Irvine and Hackney had a title challenge of Schumacher and Hill from 94. Comes to mind as well. Villeneuve and Schumacher, 97. Just like title showdowns or certain race conditions. Or Jenson Button, you've got 13 laps left in Canada and you've got to come back through the field. I think crashes would be too difficult to script. Use the boost at least some of it so that it recharges. Oh, I forgot that's at 100%. Good idea, Batman. Webber is getting a little low, so I'll probably save a bit of it just so that we can harvest if we need to. That got us through the back markers quite nicely as well. Cheers, Fox. Good plan. Used a bit more than I meant to there. I can definitely see us getting an hour out of these drivers. And probably these tyres. Which I wasn't expecting, to be fair. Started to love F1 back in the 70s, and my race hero was Ronnie Peterson. Like a mod that includes him at a young age, and date isn't 2017 at the start. Yeah, a classic mod would be nice as well. I'd like a mod that brings in drivers. Like, if you could, the ultimate, I guess, it'd take you far too long to complete. Would be one that goes through the seasons. So starts at like 1980 and works to the modern day or something. I know that would be pretty tricky. There is 2001 mod. Yep, I was thinking about trying that. But apparently, the young drivers, like Vettel and Hamilton, or people that might be coming into the sport, they don't improve properly in that mod at the moment. So you can only really use the current proper drivers. Classic rules for chassis. Yeah, man, that'd be good. And then you could have like rule sets that, like you're a pioneer. You know, you bring in, you know, double element front wings or different type of suspension. You know, like being pioneering rather than just, oh, we've improved the front wing a bit, the engine a bit. You know, you go for a complete different design philosophy or something. And shake up the grid. It'd be difficult to replicate, but it would be quite cool. Alright, how's our boys doing? 45 and 56. Right, so I'm pretty confident of those hard tyres doing an hour. I'm not sure about Webber doing that an hour on those mediums. But if the hard tyres will last longer than an hour, I think we can probably use the boost on both cars again. Purely because I don't think we need to save any more fuel. But if the hard tyres do a little bit more than an hour, say we can do an hour and 5 with the remaining drivers on car 1, then Webber only needs to get about another 7 or 8 minutes out of it. So it's going to be a 3-stop race. 2-stop race, sorry. And there are a few cars that pitched already, so we should still hopefully get one less stop. The interesting thing that's Trummer is quicker than Webber still on those hard tyres, so there doesn't seem to be a loss in pace with the hards, considering how much longer they're lasting. The O2 mod, today's heroes is just rookies. Yeah, but I don't know about the O2 one, but the O4, the rookies, they apparently didn't improve properly. So they didn't have much potential. That's probably just a bug with the mod. I don't know if you meant the O4 one or if there's an O2 one as well. But, that's what you want to do with those old mods. Obviously you want to have all the greats, you know, Montoya, Hakkinen, Schumacher, blah blah blah. But you also want to bring in the rookies that we obviously all know and love today as great drivers, but no one knew at the time. But if they don't improve properly, it's pointless. Heart DLC, yeah, that's what I would like. I've shown my thoughts on it many times before, but the part system needs to be way more intricate and way more fleshed out, and just needs to change. I would change so many things about it. Which is a shame, but we'll see. Hopefully there'll be a sequel to this sometime. There was a sequel to the mobile one, so I think maybe instead of a next DLC I would like a second game with lots of improvements. And please email me, developers, for instructions on how to improve the part system and make it right. Okay, so lots of people pitted so far. They're all going onto the hard tyres. I think we'll keep Webber out there for a bit longer. He's almost at the end of his rag in terms of stamina. Both guys are. I think we'll use a bit more boost because we've got plenty of fuel left, so we can go a lot lighter on the fuel next time. I think we've put 45 laps in Trommer's car, so about 35 laps is probably all we need. Webber's just done his fastest lap of the race. Brilliant. And we want to keep going towards the hour mark then. Obviously we don't want to go too low on the tyre life for Webber, but if he's just done his fastest lap, then we can't really complain. Yeah, I mean the hard tyres are easily going to do longer than an hour, so we can pull in Webber any time really. He's getting tired, so I think he can go around once more and then come in the next lap, I think. And then we'll do just over an hour with the other two drivers on the hard tyre. So he can come in this time around. Stamina's good on the other two as well, so hopefully. Apparently Webber's max increased by 4 somehow. Anyway, let's put Vern in the car next. We'll go on to the hard tyres. I think 35 is probably all they need. We can do some fuel saving as well this time, so maybe we'll go 30 laps and just do a bunch of fuel saving. Make it a bit easier on the tyres as well. And we can come in this time around. There's an 89 mod that isn't updated since April. Yeah, there's a bunch of mods. It's difficult. But I guess once people learn how to do the skins and stuff, all sorts of mods start popping up. But it's like F1 mods for sim games. It's very difficult to pick the season. Everyone wants to do a different season. If everyone concentrated on doing, if all the modders collaborated and just did one season at a time, we'd get every season by the end of the game. They all get abandoned as well. One isn't as popular as the other, or blah blah blah. Alright, let's keep a watchful eye over the pit stop. 48 seconds, no mistakes made. So Vern is now in the car. We're back out in P8. Just a couple of tenths behind GMAS in the Signatech. Let's use a little bit of boost early on and see if we can get Vern past. We cannot. Oh, we can. He's through. Idiot. Right. So Trommer now leads. He can do another 12 minutes in the car. Tyres are good. He's not so good, to be fair. What kind of lap times is he doing? Last time around he did a 33.5. He's still lapping really well. Really well. Oh, he's made a mistake because he's too tired. Right, okay, my fault. Sorry, Trommer. Sorry, my man. It's only a little skirmish, you'll be fine. Right, we'll go 30 laps on his car. Hard tyres, and we will switch to... let's go with Zonja. He can go a bit longer, and then Gonzalez can do a slightly shorter stint at the end. Well, so the tyres, as is, are not bad for a 24-hour race. Yeah, it depends on the track. I guess if you know, we were having to do what we weren't getting anything like an hour out of the tyres in the first 2 races. This track, they're lasting a lot more. So on a good track, an hour for a medium, maybe an hour and a half for hard. Yeah, because it's the driver. When we pulled Trummer in, the tyres were still good for another probably 15-20 minutes. So I think you're right, an hour and a half. It's just the driver that can't quite do that distance in terms of the stamina. But you can double the stint the tyres and change the driver, I guess. Zonja back out in P9. So he's lost about 10 seconds by staying out that much longer, and the undercut from Vern. Senna just ahead. But our tyres are in much better shape than everybody else. So there's still that outside chance of being able to do an extra lap. Now I need to remember next time we need to save the fuel. Vern still locked in a deadly duel with GMAS. Let's just do that hybrid saving now and just get a bit under our belts, I guess. Looks like Webber's fitness improved during the race. Yeah, it was either... Yeah, it must have been during the race. I guess maybe that's because he hadn't driven for a while, he was unemployed. He got the fitness back, but it was definitely at 76, wasn't it? And it ended up at 80. I've seen from changes according to place in the race. Oh, form change according to place in the race. Yeah, so some drivers might prefer to be in one place or the other. Or if they're not doing as well in the race they did earlier, I guess it might affect their form. Because yeah, definitely Vern started at like 7 and he's now out in 7th and his form is very low. So I don't quite understand how it works at the moment. Form. It seems very, very volatile. You'd think if a driver felt really comfortable in the car and had been fast all weekend, that they would be happy throughout the race, no matter what position they were in, but apparently not the case. Right, we're into the middle stint of the race, so let's just settle down, shall we? I think we don't have to worry so much about strategy this time. Tyres seem perfectly happy at neutral. We just need to remember to save a bit of fuel towards the end of the stint with the hybrid mode. But we just got to let our drivers get on with it. It's not looking great on pace at the moment. Hopefully the race will come back to us towards the end. Toyota are in a league of their own this time. And Porsche are nicely ahead of the midfield. I'm surprised how slow Porsche are, to be fair. They should be right up there with Toyota, you'd think. You can just sit back, relax, and watch the cogs go round. I think the interesting thing for a 24-hour race, if we do try it, and Chris managed to get the files done for it, would be the problem I have with this compared to a normal endurance race you watch. I guess the 6 hours I don't really watch as much. I just watch the 24-hour, and there's so many incidents and crashes and trying to get cars repaired to get them back out, that it's such a unpredictable and mishmash of a race by sort of lap, even by like hour 10 or 12. Whether that kind of thing would happen if you opened it up to a 24-hour race in this, we will see. Shouldn't they be winning? Toyota actually have a faster car this year. Porsche have just done a better job all round. Toyotas have been unreliable, which is why Porsche took the championship this year. But Toyota generally has been the quicker car, but it's been unreliable and they've mismanaged quite a few races. But they're you know, they're no more than a second apart generally, depending on the track. So I would expect Porsche to be a lot closer. Maybe this track just suits Toyota better. I don't know. Was it Toyota that leading? It was Toyota that leading the championship. So as it stands, actually, I'd never like to look at this because it influences how you approach the race. But we are going to lose that third place to Signatech at the moment. So 2 Signatech cars are indeed 5th and 6th. So Vern's only about 4 seconds away. I'd love to use boost to get up. Maybe we'll use a little bit of boost on both cars. And then we'll use a little bit of hybrid on both cars just to save some fuel as well. But that's got Vern nicely up to the back of Dumas. So we'll see. Bradley out. Virtual safety car is deployed. Shall we pit? No. No, Jean-Eric. Are you mad? You're mad, bro. So you can get virtual safety cars in endurance. I haven't seen it before. I don't know if you can get full safety cars, because that would really throw a spanner in the works in an endurance race, a full safety car. Has anybody seen one in the endurance series, a full safety car rather than a virtual? Interesting to see. So Vern has somehow lost 5 seconds to Dumas during that virtual safety car. Not quite sure how that's happened. Although that's closed right back up again. It just seems to be dependent on the part of the track, to be fair. He's only about 1.9 seconds behind. His tyres are in better shape, so we'll just keep patient for a moment. Slow it down, guys, slow it down. About morale, is it just that loose 30 on morale on reserve driver if you're replaced by hurt driver with function pop-up or something? Yeah, I think it's just temporary. They might have to win or lose still 30. That's interesting. I don't know why that happened. There's quite a few things in this game that don't follow logic. That would make sense as well, Fox, I guess. Taste of Racing aren't happy being reserved. They want to be out there. They're competitive animals. They want to be caged up in the hospitality room doing press conferences and media interviews. They want to be the main driver, the main man. Dumas just boosted. Oh, that's why the gap. Okay. Oh, Vern's right up with him. I'm a bit worried about the fuel though. I think we just need to keep using the hybrid mode. Oh, he got past on his own. Even better. We got good pace then, it would seem. So let's use that hybrid again. Let's try and save as much fuel as we can. So that's one Signatech car out the way for the moment. And still not quite enough to keep us ahead of them. But Vern's just gone... Oh, one of the Porsches just pitted, that's why. Oh, Dumas just gone back past with the boost. This is going to be a race-long battle, obviously. Zonja gets past another Toyota that has pitted again. So it does look like a few cars might make an extra stop than us. So the strategy might still work. Red Bull and his water supply boosted equals Red Bull. Yep. It always makes me laugh when you see the Red Bull drivers drinking out those Red Bull sports bottles that are so clearly supposed to be Red Bull, but they're clearly not. If you had a Red Bull before a Formula 1 race, it would be disastrous. Vern is really not happy out there. 1.4 is his form. Why is he so unhappy? What is it, Jean-Eric? I know you're a moody French son of a bitch sometimes, but that's a bit harsh. He is, though. You've heard him in Formula E. He moans and moans. He really does. So I'm a little worried about, actually 24 minutes left, 10 laps of fuel, he should be okay. We'll keep saving it with the hybrid mode. So we've dropped a further 3 seconds behind GMAS, but of course we can attack him and try and get that place back later in the race. Zollinger is in a fairly secure 7th place, which is technically 6th because obviously Nakajima is in the Toyota. What's this? Is that the other Signatech? The Signatech's in 2nd. Well, obviously because of the guys that pitted. He's a long way down the road. I think the best chance we've got is to try and get both cars past GMAS today. That should hopefully balance out the points. Is it a French train? Speaking of French drivers, do you think the Sauber will do well with Charles Leclerc? I think Leclerc will do a great job, especially against someone like Ericsson. He should hopefully show his quality, although the same is supposed to happen with Verline, and it's like he's just been grounded down by the car under him. A lot depends on what this new technical relationship means between Alfa Romeo and Ferrari. If it's a similar arrangement to Haas, that's suddenly going to give them a pretty competitive car by giving them the sort of basis of the chassis and some suspension parts, and obviously they're going to have the up-to-date engine for the first time in a couple of years, then he's got a really good chance of proving himself. But a lot depends on the car that Sauber give him, because Verline, I think, was one of the best young talents in the sport. He's just really faded away because he's just not got on with the fact that he's in an uncompetitive car with no real competition week in, week out. Alright, we can do a little bit more saving. Just to ensure we can get that extra 15-20 minutes out of the car. I think we'll put in a bit more fuel for the final stint, as long as the engine and gearbox are okay, which they are. Brakes a little worrying on Vern's car. But if we put in a bit more fuel... Wait, where's GMAS in the pits? Oh, that's GMAS. He's not even our driver yet. Hey, look. Pay attention. I'm trying to reach at the same time. Maybe Webber did something in the car. Yeah, he had a little pee. Vern, being a Frenchman, you'd think he'd be happy with running about in his own excrement. Sorry, I can't help myself. There's a huge gap between Vern and Zollinger. Oh, it's not as big. These timings are annoying me. Too much energy drink ruin your salt balance. It's not good for focus. Fire reacts slow, but you feel energetic. Go figure. Yeah, he'll be lightning for the first few laps, but by the end of the race, he'll be done. Vern, what's your problem, mate? Why are you so unhappy? Yet he's still driving perfectly well, which is interesting in itself. Kirk, yes, I think he will do good with him. He's from Monaco, though. Yeah, he's from Monaco. It's basically France. He is Monacanese, though, or however that's pronounced. That is true. Need better engine. Well, they're getting the brand new Ferrari engine next year, so they should be competitive on that front. Right, basically. People at Jerez played the French national anthem when he won. Does Monaco have a national anthem? I presume it does. Some YouTuber thought he was Polish because of the flag similarity, and yes, correct. Followed his let's play and corrected him. Perfect. He must be a very proud Monacanese. The Formula 1 history around there is great. It'd be great to have a proper home driver around there in Formula 1. Right, we're coming to the end of the stints now. Just going to do a little bit more fuel saving on both cars. I want to go as deep into this stint as we can, so that we can be aggressive on the final stint in terms of fuel and tyre wear. And the two drivers won't be as knackered as these two are. The 2017 engine. No, they'll be getting the 2018 Ferrari engine. They'll be getting the... It'll be getting updated throughout the season. That's part of the technical agreement with for Alfa Romeo. Although I think that was announced way previous. But I think that's what gave everyone the clue that they would sort of become the junior team. The fact they were going to get the 2018 engines next year. They switched the Monaco. I don't know what the Monaco... I've never heard the Monaco anthem, to be fair. Right, we may as well push this right up until the limit. So, Vern can come in this time around then. We'll put Gravesy in the kart for the final stint. Old Faithful. We got 37 laps out of the mediums last time. I think we're going to go hards again just to be safe. So we put 25 laps of fuel in that time. It was a little bit short. And we had to save quite a bit. So I think we'll go back up to 30. And then we should be able to push a bit more during the stint. And use the boost when we need to. Brakes with around an hour left. Do you guys think it's worth fixing them? For an hour. For 13 seconds lost when we've got an hour left. Let me know what you think. It's quite a big decision. There's quite a long time left. But if 13 seconds could be the difference between beating one of the Signatech cars and not. One vote for fix. And Greg. Fox agrees. Okay, we'll fix. It's going to drop him right down the order in terms of where the Signatechs are, but I think you're right. I think it needs to be done. They make the Salva have a decent livery. You only know the UK national anthem because we stole it for one of your songs. What song is that? I seem to remember there being an American song with that tune, yeah, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Remember the Marlboro livery. That was cool. McLaren have had some great liveries. Unfortunately, I think this orange one is just trying too hard. Hopefully, with the Renault engine, they'll think up something pretty unique next year. That's what I'd like to see. Right, no mistakes on the pit stop. Those repairs have done them, and we can get back underway. We'll use the boost straight out. Just try and get as close and past this traffic as soon as possible. So where is he in comparison then? So everybody's made their two stop around us. I think they might have to stop again. I think we're going to do one less stop once again. Which is going to be good news for us. And should get us ahead of those Signatechs. We will find out, won't we? Long way to go. Zollinger, he's pretty tired, but his tyres are good. He's got fuel, especially if we use the hybrid for a few more laps. We may as well maximise his time on track, so that we can be strong towards the end of the race with the second driver. My country, 'tis of thee. My country, 'tis of thee. Land of the free. Please kill Trump now. Is that the kind of song? I'm guessing. Right, Zonja can do one more lap after this. As I say, we may as well. He's probably going to start making mistakes. So let's get him in. Let's just get him in. Let's get Gonzalez into the car. It's well less than an hour. Hard tyres. Probably don't need 30 laps. 25 seemed fine last time. So we'll go 20. Oh, I just hate to be short again. 32 on Gonzalez's car. Do we... I guess we fix as well. Let's fix as well. May as well. If we're going to be doing one less stop, hopefully we'll get that 13 seconds back. Nope, definitely don't want to retire. Don't want to run out of fuel like we did also at the end of the last race. In our Swedish anthem we sing Old Glory Days. I feel like most national anthems are of the past. There's no really future-seeking national anthems. Talk about what is to come rather than what has been. Right, Gonzalez is back out in P10. Graves has made his way back up to P7. We're still a long way short of those two Signatechs. We've just got to hope that they've got one more stop to make. That's our only real chance. And Gonzalez has fallen behind both Rebellion cars purely because of that pit stop. Purely because of the repairs, sorry. So we shouldn't have to do too much fuel saving. So we can probably use a bit of boost from Gonzalez down these couple of straights to try and close back up. As long as we can pass those Rebellion cars as soon as possible. And get on their way. But to be honest, they're not too far behind Graves as well. Graves, same kind of thing. We should probably just use that boost. There's a lot of traffic coming up as well, so that'd be helpful. Of course, it comes at the wrong time. Just go round. Just go round, Graves. There you go, mate. Really not that hard. Just go round. Good bait. Yep, there you go. Come by. Good lad. Yeah, I think definitely the Porsche in P4, PK just ahead of us, and the two behind are definitely going to have to make a stop. I can't see Canal going much, being able to do 46 minutes. Menendez in one of the Signatechs. The two Signatechs I'm not sure, and that's the two most important ones. This is either going to be 5th and 6th or 7th and 8th. We just got to let our guys do their stuff, make sure we get to the end, and we'll see, I guess. I mean, because you're proud of a country because of what they did, not what they might do. Well, it depends. There are quite a few countries that have had checkered pasts or just have get overthrown from dictators or whatever, that their national anthems are very forward-thinking. And I think most countries should be focused on their future, not what they've done in the past. If we were all more forward-thinking, then we'd do ourselves a lot more justice. By the way, Jay, you're doing good in this race. Cheers, man. Just the perk up I needed. Hopefully we got it all right. For a change, we've been very good on our tyres. And this has made... There's no quick maths this week. It was 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Quick maths. Done. So, just the two-stop strategy. Hour for each driver. Haven't had to work anything out. And just got to hope that it works out. Both our drivers are fired up right now. I'm not going to use the boost just yet because I think... just want to be sure we've got enough fuel before. Unpopular opinion, dictators aren't all bad. No, I wasn't that's a very good point, Fox, to be fair. I know what you're saying. I just mean the there are a few national anthems. The ones that are forward-thinking are dictators that have wronged their country in the past, or people are happy to be free of them. That's why they don't want their national anthems to look back. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I've heard a couple of them. Or I saw an article about it at some point. Canals dropped behind, so Gonzalez has got past one car. Next up, PK then. One of the Porsches has come into the pits, but has stayed ahead of Graves. To be fair, wasn't really expecting to finish ahead of the Porsches, even with one less stop. Best thinking wing. Can you check your AI skill level? Mine's adjusted by the mod maybe to the lowest. I think there's only two options, isn't there? There's realistic and normal and realistic. Mine's on normal. I haven't actually tried the realistic one yet, because I struggle enough with this one. Probably Asian countries as well. Yeah, like the German anthem, maybe. Maybe the German anthem actually. Yeah, I don't know when that came about. I presume that was changed post-war. Maybe when the war went down. Maybe, yeah, that might be a good shout. I don't know about that one. I'm sure Wikipedia will tell you. Frodo. Right, so it's 1 minute 30 lap. Half an hour to go. Now we are going to have to do some quick maths. So we're probably going to have to save a little bit more fuel. So we'll do that now, and then we can use the boost towards the end if we need it. I think that should be our strategy. Just make sure we get home. Just 15 laps. Around 2 minute laps. Yeah, we're going to need to save a bit more fuel with both cars. Minus 10.2, AI driver level at lowest. That's difficulty, middle part. Oh, I didn't even know this slider existed. Fair enough. So how long has that been there? I just see the words German and Nazi in the chat now while I'm going through this. I don't have Nazi references in it. Yes, German has changed the anthem. Well, I don't know what anthem Hitler might have just used the old anthem. I don't know, personally. Okay, I'll change that back for next race. I didn't even know that was a thing. This is 1.5. Okay. Wow, this might be why I'm doing better on the Haas career as well then. I might have to bump that up next time. Because to be fair, the Haas we've been getting results we probably shouldn't have. To be fair, I'm still struggling with it. That's probably why the AI are making an extra stop every race almost in the endurance maybe. We'll try it next time and see what difference it makes anyway. But we'll concentrate on this race today. We're not exactly winning it, so it can't make... You'd think minus 10 AI level would mean that if you don't muck up at all, no matter what your car, you win the race, but apparently still pretty tough. Uber Alloys over the mall is gone. Oh, that was the anthem. We'll have to do an episode. We'll have to do start a new channel. Flags of flags, anthems of the world. Calvin, hello, welcome to the stream. You should use realistic first before moving the slider. Okay, I might try realistic next time instead. What kind of difference does it make? I remember seeing the patch notes, but my sieve of a brain can't quite remember any of that. From what I remember, it was supposed to make the AI make less errors in sort of in their strategy, rather than the actual AI speed. So it was supposed to make them sort of pick changing between tyres in terms of when it rained and going between compounds, etc. a bit more realistic. Was that the case? I seem to remember that being it. Second podcast, Fun from Anthem. Fun from podcast. Let's do it. Each week we go over the history of an anthem. Got plenty of countries in the world. There's at least 300 episodes right there. AI makes smarter tyre choice and strategy correct. Okay. Yeah, maybe realistic would be better then. That's the only string I've got to my bow. is beating them when they make stupid strategy calls. I'm so bad at the rest of the game. But maybe I should. You'll never learn if you never try. Or never push yourself. Although stronger makes you better, harder. Daft Punk. Yeah. Right. So they have made third stops. So we're up to 5th and 7th now that it's shaken out. So Lotterer is ahead. How is Tandy still? Oh, that's the Porsche. Is that the other Signatech? Negreo is somehow 4th, even having made one more stop. That Signatech car is something else this weekend. We still need a bit more fuel, so we're still going to have to save. He's on the soft tyres, but he's had only 15 minutes left. To be fair, I've been reading chat for a while. So Gonzalez is now... Oh, I was going to say he's under pressure. From rail. Let's go to boost with both cars. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to boost Gonzalez only. So Signatech's coming through, even though we've done one less stop. Gonzalez should be safe in 8th. It's all about whether Graves can hold on to P6 then, with Rayo on a charge. We're really low on fuel again. Really low. My own creator, Dr. Pepper Racing, won its first race as the AI used wet during 6 laps of intermediate conditions. Found out after it was -10 AI. Yeah, so from what Calvin was saying, then it's the realistic mode that needs to be changed, not the AI level, to fix things like that. It'll make you sleep, guaranteed. What are you saying about Formula Fun podcast? You saying just fun from podcast would be make you guys. To be fair, it's talking of Sheldon Cooper earlier. It's very fun with flags, isn't it? It's going to be very, very, very boring. Right. Toyota has made another stop. Once again, they're trying to go through the whole race on the soft tyres. You'd think with all the money and resources they've got, they'd be able to make smarter decisions than that. So it leaves Graves in 4th at the moment, as... Who else has pitted? Hartley's made a 4th stop in the Porsche. Bizarre scenes. Graves up for 4th. Lapierre, I think, has just made a 4th stop. So they've all made a lot of stops. I'm really worried about fuel. I think we've gone too light. I think we're going to have to go to low engine mode on Graves' car. Gonzalez should be okay, just. Graves, I think we've made a grave mistake. Slider is just booster to AI lap speed with no game reason. Okay, so realistic is probably the best choice. So I guess the AI level on 0 would be the truest reflection of car speed in terms of performance. Oh, we're not going to be. We're going to be short. We're way short with Graves, even if we keep saving fuel. Gonzalez is tired. We're all tired, mate. Carry on. So maybe lower AI level would do dumb choices. Reverse, then it means plus 10 like devs, the supreme best choice. Let's do it, folks. Let's do a national anthem podcast. It'd be great. I think either we should rope forward into the Fun podcast and record an episode. Hopefully it's a joke. Either was unnecessary and lots. I don't know. Sure, let's get Forge on board as well into this car crash of a project. Oh, we're out of fuel. So do we take a stop and I guess take 8th? Or do we limp home with no fuel and hope that we come home better than 8th? Let's do this quickly. Stop, or just let him run out and go round. Because we ran out last time, remember, and they still managed to get home. Especially if these guys are a lap down. Now that was a different championship, wasn't it? I think we might run out in this. I don't know. If those guys are an extra lap down... No, because they'll still finish on the lead lap. So they will still be a lap down. What is the pit delta? Would be, I guess we don't need to do tyres. Just like a lap of fuel. 3-second pit stop. Plus what? 20 seconds in the pits. So it'd take about 20 seconds. He'd probably come back out in 8th. Just a lap of fuel. Yeah, you're right. Just a lap. Okay, let's do it. Just make sure he gets home, and that just secures that 8th place, doesn't it? 1 lap of fuel. Do we go? I guess. Doesn't matter if we bounced all fast. Yeah, let's just do it. We won't get 8th otherwise. Yeah, we'd probably be 9th, wouldn't we, if we limped home. Gonzalez will still take 6th, I guess. So there's no real quarrel to be had there. We might even get out ahead of Hartley. Oh no, there goes the Porsche. Oh, quick maths wasn't good. Mucked up the quick maths this time. Anyway, I think maybe if we'd saved a bit more fuel at the beginning of that stint as well, might have helped. But 6th and 8th is still going to be a good finish, to be fair. Unfortunately, I think both the Signatech cars are ahead of us. So we're going to lose that 3rd place in the championship. But... so what did we do wrong? I guess the hard tyres were just too slow. Doing just 2 stops on the hard tyres. Technically, obviously Graves had to stop for fuel. But all those guys ahead were running softer compounds of tyres. So I guess over the course of the race, they made up that pit stop. Push Graves. Graves wasn't... Guys, I've just read that. Graves wouldn't have caught a Porsche. It's not going to happen on old hard tyres. There was no need to push for a lap. Even like a pregnant lady. I mean, or a driver. Jack to be able to fuel made me giggle every time. I can imagine what's this in real life. Well, just having a quick splash and death. Turns out the number 4 car is 1 lap short of fuel. One can hope. I'm not that much of an optimist. It was just about getting... We were consigned to 8th place when we made that pit stop, I'm afraid, guys. As much as I would have loved to have somehow got back past a Porsche, we made the mistake and threw away a couple of extra points there. 2 points to be precise. 2 Signatechs beat us home then by quite a distance. I think, unfortunately, that's purely because we didn't... To be fair, we have the 4th quickest car. That Signatech car should be quicker than us. So we've just had some really good early races. And the gap is still small, only 5 seconds. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'll speak to you soon. And yeah, do mention it to Forge. We've got to do it. At least for one joke episode, I agree. Okay, that's going to be this episode for the week then. A lot of work to do. Obviously, we're making probably the completely wrong decision by spending all of our money on Formula 1 drivers rather than the car. But this is the memes we're going for, okay? There's a new trait from Webber. He's got a dodgy neck. Great. So he's going to lose even more stamina next time. Good. Wonder if anthems are copyrighted. Depends when they were produced. I think it's, 50 years is the copyright law? Is it 50 or 100? It's one of the two. So if it's over 50 or 100 years old. Yeah, I'm great on the kazoo. Definitely can do national anthems on the kazoo. I hope you can. I don't even have a kazoo. I'm not buying a kazoo for a joke podcast. Depends on the country's law. Copyright is a what as to whether it's okay? Because I know classical tunes in this country are exempt after, I think it is 100 years, because like all the old concertos and Beethoven stuff is copyright free because it's over 100 years old and therefore becomes in the public domain. But sure, I'm all up for doing a kazoo rendition of Botswana's national anthem or something. There's quite a lot of promise in this idea, to be fair. Right, that is going to be it for today. That's episode number 4. Again, apologies for missing the stream yesterday. It will be back on Wednesdays from next week, unless I have another nightmare day at work. But hopefully that won't happen 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, thank you everybody as always for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, despite the fact we didn't quite do as well as we'd hoped. And we'll continue on our march, our suicidal march, for getting a team of XF1 drivers. I think we'll be going for Robert Kubica next time. In terms of streaming, of course, just 2 races left in the RRL League. First and second in the championship are decided. Obviously, we are runner-up. Cowsfield won that. But I'm sure we can still have some fun races. Suzuka will be on Sunday at 7:30. So do tune in for that if you can. And there should be a couple more Motorsport Manager videos going up towards before the weekend of the normal single-seater. Beg my pardon. And I'm going to try and get one more Haas video up before the weekend as well. So it's Fox, Ulf, Greg, Chris, just everybody that's tuned in. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. I wouldn't be doing this without you, as always. And I hope you have a brilliant rest of your week until we speak next. Bye-bye.